shall we? All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is John, your host.
And my name's Nicole, your co-host. Welcome to our next episode. This episode, we will be talking about mental health. And our guest, Jasmine, who is now an alumni of NJCU and EOF/OSP class of 2025. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It has been definitely a journey, a transformative journey. So thank you.
Of course.
Well, congratulations on that journey. You made it out, baby.
Thank you. I got my bachelor's of arts, guys. Yes.
Pretty and
I know that's
educated.
right.
Oh, say it again. Come through. Okay.
So, it is mental health.
Hey, y'all. So, what is mental health? We always hear it being, worded. People keep asking, oh, worry about your mental health this, mental health that, therapy. But what is mental health? Have we ever thought of, the history of it?
No, I never really thought about.
Well, I have, guys.
Okay.
And I did a little research.
Let's hear it.
And so some of the early stigmas of mental health, remember, women that had gone through postpartum, who were really struggling with mental health back in the days, they were known as witches. Yes, very much. Burned at the stake. Very sad times. But we have gotten better. That's the good thing. And so then in the 19th century reforms, we had one strong advocate. Her name was Dorothea Dix. She was very much a big advocate for humanizing more of the caretaking of mental health. Mm-hmm. She didn't enjoy how the mental asylums cooped up people and just treated them lesser than. And then here comes the 20th century, where we started to focus on psychiatric medication, where we started to make the asylums more community-based, more therapy-based, so that people can go in and learn and become better people instead of just treating them and cooping them up as crazy people. And also we had our president, John F. Kennedy. He started promoting the caretaking of community mental health in the U.S. And now, in our current century, the 21st, we have social media, which plays a big advocate nowadays, especially since mental health is right at the tip of our fingers. You are never alone now. Mm-hmm. Right. If you are going through a situation, you can always search up on TikTok, bed rotting, and you'd see millions of other people who are going through the same thing as you. So now we are never alone, and resources are as available more than ever.
I love that.
All right. So, Jasmine, as a graduate from NJCU, certainly you have been through a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about your mental health journey throughout your journey of college?
Ooh, where do we start? So, I'm a traditional student. So first generation student. I come from a family that doesn't really understand education and therapy. We don't talk that much about therapy when I was growing up. You just hold things in and smile type of situation. So going into college, it was very hard. And I give thanks to my EOF advisor for just being there and being supportive and being tough and being loving and telling me that it's okay to talk and speak and live in your truth and live on your own, but take accountability for your actions. And it's okay to make mistakes. College can be trying. It can be very fun. It could be the most amazing experience. You find these new people. You're in a whole new world, but then it can be lonely and scary sometimes. You start to doubt yourself. You can be depressed. You can just go through so much, and it seems longer than what it is, but it's so short. But in that moment where you're so anxious and frustrated, the grades aren't what your grades should be in your mind. Where's the time? There's not enough time. Time management, it causes anxiety and frustration. A professor might not understand your point of view, where you're coming from, so that can cause frustration. But reaching out to different sources and building friendships and talking to my advisors, like, I just want people to understand, like, it's okay to ask for help. I think that was a big thing. I've always asked for help, and I think that's because I've always
As
been
you should, though.
very short and little. So it's like I can't reach the top of things. So I need help. There's no way. So I've always been that person, and everybody says to me, like, you just walk up and ask for help. And I'm like, yeah, you waste more time just saying, like, I can do it. Certain things you just can't do, and you got to be okay with that. I can't. I will never be able to touch the top of the cupboard or the pantry. That's fine. I'm 5'2". That's cool. But John, can you reach up there and get it for me? Yes, you can. Yes,
I can.
Yeah, like,
sure.
so I would ask for help, and I think that's a huge, like, part of, like, mental health. You're afraid to ask for help because you don't want to seem weak, and then it's like you don't want to be judged either, and it's anonymous. Nobody needs to know anything that you're going through. It's between you and your therapist and whatever religion you study or not. That's it. So you don't want to feel weak. You don't want to feel crazy, like, and some people are more guarded and don't like to open up to other people, vulnerable.
Right.
I've always been a very vulnerable person. I share it, just about anything, if it can help others. So college was a trying time for me, but it made me the person I am, and I've fallen in love with myself all over again, like, truly, because there's been times where I was just like, I don't like this, I don't like anything about this, and like going through those stages of, like, freshman year, sophomore year, even summer and winter classes I took, it was a lot, but I want to say practicing what you preach. So I'm a sociology major. We deal with, like, social work, we deal with mental health and everything. So if I'm going to major in this degree, in this field, how am I not supposed to believe what I'm talking about?
Right.
It makes no sense. Journaling, that's a huge thing for me. Journaling, writing your feelings out. My journal is filled with a lot of mean things, but that's what it's for. So I can be this, perky person that I love to be. But yeah. So yeah.
All right. Was there ever a turning point, especially, like, in your undergrad years of getting your amazing bachelor's that you got?
Yes. With a minor in criminal justice.
Oh, I know, that's right.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I'm excited. You said, was there a turning point?
Like, mental health wise?
Many turning points, especially I want to say, so I transferred to NJCU from Hudson County Community College.
Really?
Yeah. That was, oh God, that was scary. At HCCC, now they have a pathway plan where they have like a connection where you talk to somebody at HCC and they work with NJCU. So it's like an easy transition. When I came here, they didn't have that.
Ooh.
And I remember saying, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to have something where y'all help transition. And I'd be like, Jose, you need to find something to do. Like, he's just like, calm down. I'm like, because I don't know where I'm going or what to do. And but coming from HCCC, which is a community college, it's a different vibe. It's very tiny, small, and communicative. So everybody there you kind of grew up with anyway. So then to be transferred to NJCU, where everybody knew each other for 2 years before. Now you're the outsider. So I came in off of, like, hey, I thought college were, like, mean people, because you see the TV and the movies and you're like, they're going to be stuck up and snobby and, like, I'm just not going to like this experience. I'm going to stick to myself. And then I'll never forget, I say this story all the time. Shahad, he came up to me and hugged me. And I was like, whoa, I'm taken. I have somebody. He was like, no, what are you talking about? He was like, I like you. And it was just that hug. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I don't know you. And every time we're in a panel, I look at him and he goes, don't tell that story again. I was like, I'm telling it. And we just all laugh. And I was like, it was just that. And ever since then, he'll see me or give me a hug or say what's up or whatever. It was like that friendly face. And then there's another student here. Her name is Jasmine, like mine. I met her on such a crazy... I've never been friends with somebody named Jasmine before. So never. So when we met in a senator's meeting. And on Zoom. So all you see is Jasmine and Jasmine. It says Jasmine G, Jasmine W. So I'm like, am I on two? Like, what's happening? And we were so like, just like, it wasn't competitive, but we were like very like into like a change. We want this to change. We want this to change. And another student was like trying to like not listen to what we had to say. And we like tag team this like each other. Like, you win, your turn, get him. Like, we were tag teaming back and forth. And then at the end, we was just like, oh, I think I like you. I want to meet you. And I was like, I'm going to email you. And then she responded to my email. We met up. We met up. And she was like, oh my God, you're so cute and little. And I was like, oh, you're like an Amazon. Like, good Lord.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
like ever since then, if I need like a perking up energy, I just go stand next to her. She's like my spirit animal completely. And her name is Jasmine. And we're both Aquariuses. And we're both born in January. Like the 20th. I think
Twinsies.
I think her birthday is either the day before mine or my birthday. I forget.
That's actually crazy if that's...
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I didn't meet her in OSP because she was already in OSP. But I was transitioning from. And like... to have like that connection and then be like, oh yeah, I'm part of OSP. And she's like, come through.
Tutor?
Yeah.
Jasmine? Oh my
So
God.
she's
yes,
like,
I
come
love her.
through. Because I just thought OSP was just like a little space.
Right.
She's like, no, come through. We do a lot of stuff. Come on, you gotta come on. We're gonna just. And like, you can't say no to her. You just can't.
No.
Because she's gonna make you do whatever she feel like you need to do. And then her major was social work. So it was like,
Oh.
that's like kind of what I'm doing. And we've bonded and I am, fully disclosure, I'm a lot older than she is. But it was like never saw that. She never judged. It was just like, hey, you could do this. She's big on calling anybody and everybody beautiful. She loves like just people. She's in the right field.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
100%. So like just having those different people coming in, it was like an easier transition. I've never had like a terrible experience where I felt like truly I didn't have a friend or isolated on campus. And like I said, I'm non-traditional, so I'm a little older. So me and the faculty rock out because we're like kind of about the same age or whatever. I understand the jokes they saying. I'm just like, really? And then, I have kids, so I get some of those jokes too. And I'm just like, no, I can, what I tell my mom, I can swither between both worlds and understand both sides. So I'm in that fun zone where it's like, yeah, we can get lit all we want, but listen, y'all, my knees hurt because the weather right now, and I can't do it. Like, don't call me after 7:30 because I'm taking a nap. But yeah, I say college, the experience it all, it was just being like coming in transfer. And that's what I always wanted to focus more on, like students I transferred into, because it's not easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's really not
scary.
easy.
And it's not even that you don't know where anything is. It's like you guys might have been friends for like 2 years and here's this imposter coming in. Like, you're my bestie. And then it's like, it's a mesh of like,
Right.
yeah, but I love how now we have like, our, what is it called? Our transfer resource center
Yeah.
and our commuter center, and they're rebuilding that trust or whatever. Because when
Right.
you're commuting, sometimes you feel like you can't even be involved either.
Right.
Yes, I'm a commuter myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I've personally never felt that gap of like I can't go to places, but I have met other commuters who are freshmen like me. I met this one guy and he's like, yeah, I've never been to a school event. And I'm like, you've never been to a what?
You never lived. You never lived.
Don't you go to this college? Like these events are for people like us who commute so that we can like, have somewhat of a social life.
You pay for it too.
You're paying for this and you're not going. Once gone to any of the events and stuff, and I'm like, this school is very much open to commuters, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I just never felt that isolation because I do have friends who dorm, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, I guess you can say I have a community there, but not really. But I don't know, I just never felt outcasted for being a commuter.
Right. What about you? You're commuting.
Yeah, I've always, my first semester, I took 2 buses. Because since I live 30 minutes away from here, so I live in North Bergen, so which is like the closest that I can go to. So, but since the beginning of my sophomore year, I began taking the light rail more, and it feels like being on like traveling on the light rail. It feels so much better, and it travels so much more faster comparing to the bus, because a bus takes like sometimes maybe maybe like an hour because it always stops at every single bus stop to drop off passengers. And so we're going to be talking about therapy. So what is therapy? You know, people have been talking about therapy, but I feel like it's not talked about enough. So what is therapy? So therapy, it is also known as psychotherapy or counseling. It is a process of where a trained mental health professional helps out with individuals such as ourselves. Jasmine, what has helped you during most hard times?
Coping. So I have always dealt with anxiety. Well, even in high school, I've dealt with anxiety. It didn't get that bad until college, and I think it was because like I was truly 100% on my own. Where before I could I'm not going to class, I'm going to stay home. My mom's going to come home and cook, and then I could restart or whatever. But in college, my anxiety levels got like so high, like I couldn't breathe. I would like hear my heart beating in my ears, start sweating.
Ooh.
And I'd be like, I think I'm like having a heart attack or something. It got really bad. And like in that one class, I was talking about my intro to social work, when my professor had us do a presentation. And I love speaking. I love talking to people. So for me to like,
I know that's right.
period. For me to go into like a complete like anxiety mode, like the Hulk, like I froze, I couldn't breathe, and he saw my face and like the little sweat was like dripping down my face, and he was like, "Your face turned white," and I'm nowhere near white, but yeah. So he was like, "This is what I want you to do. I want you to go outside and do some jumping jacks, and then when you come in after you finish your presentation, I want you to go look into the counseling services that we have on campus. You have promised me that." So I did the jumping jacks, knocked out the presentation, got an A in that class. It was easy peasy or whatever. And then I was introduced to like the counseling services up in G-Sub, and where I met Danielle. I call her my little purple hair fairy.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love her. Her door literally was, I think I emailed her, and we were going back and forth, and I kept saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. Okay, yeah, I'll be there on Wednesday. Okay, I'll be there." Like just like saying I would and not and like canceling. "Oh, I can't make it. And then I think finally I ran into her, and then she was like, "Oh, my door is open," and I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "You're not doing nothing, right? And come on in." And I was like, "Oh, right now?" Because I think I have. And she's like, "No, you told me your schedule all week." I was like, "Oh, you listened to it? Like you really?" Okay.
So you were paying attention. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can't do that. So once I went in, she was like, "This is a safe space." She it got so comfortable, and she was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I don't know. I can't talk in front of like a large amount of people, which is odd for me. I'm a speaker. I love to communicate. I advocate. Like this is me." And she was like, "Well, like let's figure out the anxiety part. Let's give you some tools to help you with it." And she gave me the 5 senses tools, 5 things you smell, 5 things you see. And to this day, that still like works. I do it. I pass it on to other people. And then the anxiety breathing hand, where you go up one side of your hand and you breathe in, and then you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I never get past the middle finger because by then I'm just like, I'm good. I don't need to. But those were like some of the coping mechanisms that I learned and skills. And being the president of the psychology club, I brought all of that to the club settings. Like here, do this. And even coloring, she got me into that. I always colored, but you lose that child like urge to color probably like after like 4th grade. And then you get creative in high school because you have projects and stuff, and now you have Canva, so you really don't have the need to like color. It's more you can do graphics, graphic design without really doing graphic design.
Right.
But to sit there and like color like with a crayon, and that's about touch too. Meditation and touch. They say when you hug for like 3 seconds, you like open yourself and other people to like just having like better energy, better space, and just being happy. That's why people hug people. And I always introduce myself with any of my students because I was academic coach on campus. And I go, "I'm a hugger. I love to hug. I do." Like I randomly walk up to
Me
people
too.
and be like, "Give me a hug. Come on."
Me too. I'm a hugger, man. In high school, I had a friend. She hates hugs. No, like she like hated them that she would run away, and I made it my
Girl.
mission to hug her. Like I don't know why. I was just like, I'm gonna hug you, and so literally the last day of school, we were crying, and she was like, Nicole, you don't know how grateful I am to you because like you literally made me into a hugger. Like now I can't go without hugging people.
Beautiful.
And I literally cried because I was like, I did not know I had that effect on you. Like I just wanted to hug you, and you didn't want to hug. And I still wanted to hug.
Yeah, you know, when COVID happened, it took that away from us. Like we couldn't even be in the same space.
Yes.
And when you're so used to like, as human beings, we need to feel each other, touch each other, speak to each other. When you take that away, you become inhumane sometimes, mean, isolated, depressed, because we need to be able to, we're independent, but we also are interdependent, meaning we rely on each other.
Right.
Just like how we rely on like the plants and the trees rely on us. That's how we are as like just human beings in general. When mothers have a baby, the baby is literally relying on the mother's touch, literally.
Right.
Like it needs to feel it. It needs to hear the heartbeat. It needs to, you know what I mean? And even with like animals, what do? The cubs always
Has a little like pouch.
come up under the
Pouches.
Yeah, they're in their mom. They're, you know,
Right?
penguins. Those are my favorite animals. It's not even the mom that's the caretaker. It's the dad penguin.
And you know what? That's period, yo. We gotta
I
do
love
that.
it. The mom go off and go do her journey, and the dad is waddling around with his penguins. I love that. I'm here for non-traditional lifestyles. Yeah, I approve stay-at-home dads.
Me too. Honestly, I approve. And even I approve of just like working together.
Yeah.
Actually, because a lot of people who like I don't know, the older generation is very much like moms still had to work though. That's my issue. We're all about feminism. We're all about women roles, but it's just because you want us to work. You just want us to work, and then also expect us to take care of the household chores.
Right.
Which I feel like that's kind of abusive, yo. Like low key.
That right there explains why some of the women back in the day were going through hysteria.
Right. That explains why they were getting lobotomies for fun, yo.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember reading about stuff like that. When you were talking about Freud, I was like, freaky Freud. He's just he did some things that I don't approve. I don't understand. Freaky Freud
Like
is very much freaky.
we don't accept him in this household.
You
But
know,
he did a few things, I guess. He put his foot in a few things, but
poor Sigmund.
Yeah.
It's just I like that though, how you said like the women, the traditional one is like they have to do this, do that, cook clean, and then you still want me to bring home the bacon so I could cook the bacon and serve the bacon.
you want me to pay, you want me to buy the bacon, cook the bacon, make sure to feed you the bacon, and then clean up after the bacon.
Yeah.
Right.
When like at this point I don't even want the bacon no more.
Right.
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm the vegan. I'm good. It's like but yeah, I feel like as the younger generation, like do you have like that need to like wanting to carry on those older traditions, or is it more like nah, we're not doing that? And
Also, if we really think about it, being a stay-at-home, I also did a speech about this in high school. Being a stay-at-home mom is being glamorized too on social media.
Yeah.
We also have to keep that in mind. Like there's been a new kind of wave of trad wives, especially nowadays. While I feel like it is good because it's kind of showing a new wave of feminism, like it's not only like, oh, we have to be fighting and working and like making sure we're beating men, but it's like you can also still be a feminist and want to go towards more feminine roles.
yeah.
But at the same time, they just show the good parts of it. They only show like, because who would want to see you arguing about your husband about money and stuff? Like no one.
No one.
So they just show like, oh, I'm taking my kid out to the field trip. I'm taking spend a day with me. And like you're just wiping down counters and you make it seem so easy.
I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. I always say it was the worst experience of my life, but it was not. During that moment, you go, oh, God, that's depressing in itself. That really tests your mental health. I had 3 under 5? 3 under 3. Yeah. I had a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 1-year-old. No, one was
Oh my
18 months.
God.
Yeah. I know one was like not 3 yet. So you're thinking like pull-ups, diapers, like my bag was just a baby bag. There was
Right.
Like the spewing up.
yeah. Oh God, let me tell you. Sometimes you forget to like put on some deodorant. You're like, is that me or is that y'all? Like, when did that happen? Oh my God. And then there's been many times I walked out with my headscarf on, and I'm like trying to, because you still want to. That's why I like that you said that. You still want to present that you're a lady and an attractable lady. But being a stay-at-home mom, it got me. I was able to nurture my kids and like teach them. So when they got to school, like my daughter is one of the most brilliant young ladies I've ever met. She scored like in the state of New Jersey the top 10 on like ELA, math. She takes physics. She's only in 7th grade. She's taking 9th grade, 10th grade, 12th grade classes. Okay. And that's because I feel like I was there to like nurture and be there and be supportive. And I've taught her to advocate for herself. Like, you can say no because no means no. And what makes you beautiful is what you feel like is beautiful. And her name is Zuri, which means beautiful. So if somebody say you ugly, it's impossible. Because
that's
your
my
name is
name.
Zuri, you're beautiful. That makes no sense. And then logically in her mind, it's like, yeah, you're right. And just being supportive. And so I understand the whole wanting to be glamorous because I'm a heel person, love my heels.
Yes.
But sometimes when you're running after a toddler in the park, them heels come off, and Crocs have been my new best friend. Okay, you go douse with these now. Like, now you put little chains and stuff on them.
Yes.
I feel like the art of like being able to balance still living in your femininity and being able to be nurturing and mother and just ugly sometimes is great. Like, it's okay to have like an ugly day,
Right.
and be okay and be comfortable. Like, I'm sure Beyonce has some ugly days because sometimes her eyebrows aren't looking,
Not too much.
but then
Not too much now. Not too much.
I'm more of a Fenty chick,
Okay.
and like just being like owning it.
Right.
Yes, because honestly, for me personally, women who do that are so strong, being a stay-at-home mother.
Yeah.
And especially since I learned in psychology this semester, y'all, I've been learning
Look at her.
that like when you spend that time with your child, you're essentially setting them up for life. You help them secure a secure relationship that like helps them emotionally and like mentally. How you're saying your daughter is very intelligent and like she's kind of more confident in herself than whereas like a child who kind of didn't have that good secure connection, they wouldn't be like, they would try to avoid people, they wouldn't be as sociable or like as confident in themselves.
And 5th grade is a hard year. Y'all remember that?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I literally be like, oh, you're not even in high school yet. Oh God.
Oh,
it gets better. And she's just like, you don't know. I'm like, I've been there. Trust me, I have.
Sweetie, I made it out.
Yeah.
Look how old I am.
Look, I'm here.
Like I have my bachelor's.
Yeah. And she, right. And
she got her bachelor's.
And she's just like and you know what's great too? Being around other women that you can mirror yourself against. It's not like trying to be like, oh, I want to be better than you. No. It's like, I like this about you. So you start to mirror. There was a Chinese proverb or something like that where they would mimic different animals and stuff, and it would cause them to be more like just like fluent and spiritual. Right. So I feel like mirroring, and I think we learned something. You might learn about mirroring, and when you continue through your psychology field, but mirroring is like not a bad thing. It's not being envious. It's like, oh wow, I like this in you. I would love to learn those skills. Yes, and that's how I say we're independent yet interdependent. We need one another. And it goes both ways. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. I've learned stuff from like little 5-year-olds because 5-year-olds don't hold their mouth for nothing. They tell you like, oh, your hair is ugly. Like they'll tell you that. And you just be like, oh,
not too much now.
Should I hold it up? And they just like curl it. And I'm like, okay. 5-year-olds, they'll tell you, like you don't
even do your own hair. Yeah. Okay.
They'll be like, oh, I don't like your shoes. And I just be like, oh, wow.
You don't even buy your own shoes.
Yeah. But, as you get older, you start to look at social constructs and stuff, and you're like, oh God, I have to be this way. I have to do this. I have to look this way, and that can be so like draining on your mental health. Yes. I don't even know. It's like putting air in a balloon, and you just keep putting it more air. Eventually, it's just gonna pop.
Right.
So it's like You can learn from everybody. I'm learning from you as we talk every day. Yes. It's my little boo-boo right here.
Period. So, if you could go back to your freshman self, what advice would you give her about managing mental health?
Oh, I would tell her to go to therapy that day I enrolled. Like,
Period.
go. Just go.
Just go.
Just go over there, look at the cute little teas, grab some, put them in your purse, and then run into one about it. Put them in your purse, run into somebody. Like, go to therapy that first day because that first day was a lot. Orientation day, green and gold day, you're like surrounded by a million people.
A million orgs, a million everything.
And they're all coming at you with information. Here.
We want you to come.
Yeah.
Please come. Come on now.
It's like, okay, I'm going to go upstairs to the therapy service that you just told me about, and I'm going to sit here and just talk to somebody. So if I can go back, I would tell myself, listen, go to therapy, go sign yourself for them 2 days a week or 1 day a week, and set yourself up for later on.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need it. It's a journey. That's what I did my freshman year.
You know what? Thank you for that solid advice. You know what I mean? And thank you for sharing your experience too. I just wanted to say that because, some people, they're not as willing to be open up about this subject. So I'm very grateful that you came here and talked about it.
And see, that's the problem. And that's why we're going to what? We're going to break the cycle.
I know that's right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So that is very solid advice. So for those of you who are struggling right now, what is one thing that they can do today to start feeling better?
Laugh, smile, and eat whatever you want. I feel like listen, if you want a cheeseburger, eat that double cheeseburger and be happy. Smile, walk in the park. Walk in the rain. I walked in the rain the other day. It was the most amazing feeling, and I did it in Crocs. And it was like that nature, the feel of it. After I walked across the stage, it was a lot, and it was intense, and it rained that night. And I took a walk around my neighborhood wearing Crocs, my cute little rainbow umbrella that I got from here. Oh. And everybody was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, you don't even understand. Like, the rain itself hitting me was like a lift off my shoulders. I can breathe. So like just breathing, walking, just take it all in and live in the moment. Don't let the moment pass you. You have to live in every moment, the good and the bad, and just like take it in. Otherwise, you're gonna wake up and be like 103 years old and did nothing but stress. So, say no to stress.
Yeah. All right. So, Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us here today and being so real with us. Mental health is a journey, and your honesty means a lot for all of us.
We always have resources here at the school. You can always even go on TikTok, search up your symptoms to see if someone else is experiencing it, but don't use that as self-diagnosis, guys. Yeah. Be careful of that. But you can always just see it as a way of like someone relating to how you feel and making sure that you're not alone, because you are never alone, and it's okay not to be okay.